looking specifically at these brains, imaging, looking at what's happening in the brain after something like this happens, and also this idea that you follow along a team. In this case, we followed along a single high school football team who had suffered tragedies. They had lost players. Players had lost their lives in the past because of head injuries, and seeing what they can do now to try and make football safer. So.
One very critical point that affects athletes at any level are concussions. Athletes who are in the majors or kids playing against other schools and friends run the risk of severely damaging themselves. Many cases of concussions occur in middle school, high school, and the major leagues. Any sport you can receive a concussion in, but football and hockey seem to be the most common to get this injury. Wearing correct equipment is very important, and knowing the signs of this injury are needed if anyone plans on playing any kind of sports.
Consider protecting yourself a huge factor in a game?
Yes, I do. I feel like protecting yourself in any type of sport, not just football, is a huge factor.
Is the sport doing a good job at protecting its players?
Well, people are definitely getting more C words over the years, but concussions. But I say the sport definitely they're definitely improving the helmets to keeping your heads up. So it's definitely improving the job on lowering the amount of concussions that's going on.
How many people do you know who have had concussions?
Quite a few. I can think of at least 5 off the top of my head on the team, on our team personally that had them.
Do you believe it's a big problem with many players?
Yes, I mean head injuries are a huge problem with people.
In the future, considering what concussion could lead to, would you let your kids play physical sports such as football?
Yes, most definitely. It's part of the game. I love football, so let my kids play.
Do you think football is the most dangerous sport?
I mean, it's a dangerous sport, but I mean, it's definitely worth playing. So, I mean, the love of the sport, I wouldn't think it's dangerous.
First opportunity to examine the brain of a retired professional football player. It was the brain of John Grimsley, a former linebacker for the Houston Oilers who had died of an accidental gunshot wound while cleaning his gun at the age of 45. According to his wife, he was concussed 3 times during his college career and 8 times during his NFL career. John began showing changes in his behavior and cognitive decline at the age of 40. He developed difficulties in short-term memory, attention, concentration, organization, planning, problem-solving, judgment, and ability to juggle more than one task at a time. He would ask the same questions repeatedly over the course of the day, and would ask to rent a movie that he'd already seen. He had trouble assembling his tax records, shopping alone, and understanding television. He developed a shorter and shorter fuse and would become angry and verbally aggressive over seemingly trivial issues.
Someone doesn't need to be knocked out to have a concussion.
Right.
The symptoms can be pretty vague, and take a look at some of the symptoms specifically. And these are some of the questions that are sometimes asked on the sideline. Just simply if someone has a headache, if they feel any pressure in their head, for example, nausea, vomiting, balance problems, dizziness, vision problems. For a football game, they might ask questions like, do you remember who you played last week? Did you win or lose?